Hey everybody, it's Paddy here. Welcome back to the channel. And look, in this video, we're going to talk about how to sell. Look, I don't care what type of business you're running, okay? Whether you're doing coaching, whether you're doing consulting, e-commerce, online business, offline business, brick and mortar, I don't care. Look, if you're not able to sell, you don't have a business, okay? If you can't persuade someone to give you money for whatever it is you're offering, you don't have a business. The end. What I want you to understand is that you can completely suck at marketing, you can suck at attracting clients, you can suck at attracting customers, you can really shit the bed with pretty much any type of marketing activities, paid advertising or whatnot. But if you can successfully persuade people to give you money for whatever it is you're offering, you will be successful and nothing else matters. And the other side is also true. You can have the best product, you can have the best service, you can really have the best marketing that has ever seen the face of the earth. But if you don't know how to sell properly, you're just not gonna make it work. And a lot of business owners just don't know how to sell properly. And it really comes down to not clearly understanding what drives the sale and how to tap into it. But I got good news. None of that matters because I'm gonna show you a couple things that you can use right now, today, to help you get a lot more sales than you're currently doing. So it's going to be a very important video. Let's get to it. By the way, if you're new to the channel, my name is Paddy. I run my own consulting business where I help business owners to get more clients using digital marketing. And here on the channel, I like to talk about business stuff, put up some cool dance videos, and pretty much everything else that I think is cool. And if you like things like that, be sure to hit that subscribe button because I release cool videos like this every single day. So with that being said, let's get back to it. So guys, first of all, I want to stress that there are a lot of different tactics that you can use when it comes to selling. I mean, there's really a lot out there. I mean, some are good, some are better than others, and some are just outright horrible. And I've been in sales jobs ever since I was 15 years old, and I've seen a lot of things. I mean, I've been in call centers, I've sold face-to-face, I sold physical products, intangible products, things like policy plans or software. Hell, I even sold people. I mean, if you're in recruitment, you're essentially just selling people. So I've been there, I've done that, seen the good, the bad, the ugly, and pretty much all of that. And the important thing that I want you to keep in mind with all of that is that there is no end-all be-all formula when it comes to sales. There is no one-size tactic that fits everything. And over the years, people keep adjusting all of their tactics in the way that they approach the market with products and services and all of that. A lot of that has to do with technology, most notably are things like social media nowadays. But here's the thing with all of that. Despite there being a lot of changes in the world, the one thing that hasn't changed is human nature, and it probably never will. And at the highest level, what sales really is a game of psychology. What caused people to buy, for example, in the 80s is exactly the same thing that caused people to buy things right now. In other words, the key elements that drive a sale are exactly the same for every person every single time. And what I'm gonna do with you is I'm gonna break down all of these key elements and give you actionable steps that you can take on them, okay? So you can apply them directly into your business. So let's hop to them. So the first thing you need to be clear on is who you're selling to. You really need to know who you're selling to. Remember when I said that a lot of business owners suck at selling? Well, a big part of that is because a lot of them don't really understand who they're selling to. In fact, what they try to do is sell to pretty much everybody there on the planet. And here's the thing, markets are way too big for you to serve everybody. This is why it is very difficult to sell to everybody. Why? Because not everybody wants exactly the same things and not everybody has the exact same interests. So trying to sell to everybody with the same type of product or whatever simply isn't going to work. People have different interests and different values, and this is why you'll see that someone is willing to spend like $3,000 on a computer as opposed to someone else who might be spending like only $500 for the exact same computer, simply because they don't value it much. And you really need to understand who you're selling to by understanding their desires and their values. And this is why it's so important to have a niche for your products and services. And when you focus on that, it helps you to be perceived as an authority, which is absolutely critical, because without authority, people won't buy from you. It will be like, yeah, why should I listen to you? Right? So that's why you need to establish authority, because it puts you kind of like on a pedestal where people will actually listen to what you have to say and will be more prone to follow in your lead, so to speak. So having authority, being able to influence people in that part is necessary to make a sale. The next thing that's important is branding. Look, a lot of people don't really understand what branding is about. Branding isn't simply about having a nice logo or a fancy website or whatnot. Branding is about experience. Specifically, the experience that your customer or client is having with your business at every single interaction. And what you really need to ask yourself is the following question. What do I want my customer or client to experience with my business? Like, really, what is your business about? What is your branding about? What do you want people to experience all the way through every single time they come into contact with you? Also, what goes with this is that people have this thing called the liking bias. And essentially what it means, without delving too deep into it, is that people like certain things way more than they like other things. Take a look at brands like Nike, Louis Vuitton, Apple, Amazon. People will buy the exact same products or services only from those brands instead of others. Why? Simply because they like them way more than other brands. And what goes a long way with this is if you add a face to your brand or your business. And what this does is it's going to help you to get more uniqueness, and it will add more personality to your business and essentially separating you from your competition. And even if you're selling the exact same thing, people will be way more in tune to choose you simply because they like you more. And all of those things put together is going to help create a unique experience for your customer or your client, whatever you want to call them, and people will be way more in tune to actually purchase something for you. So you'll be able to make way more sales when you focus on and tap into that. So number 3 is trust. If you want to sell more effectively, you will need trust. Look, people buy things when there is trust. Without it, making a sale is borderline impossible. Okay, it's just very, very difficult to do. Even for people who are very seasoned sales professionals, it's just a very tough job to pull off. And this almost goes without saying, but still people gloss over this a lot. And there are like 3 core components to this, and let's break them all down so you can use them effectively. So first of all, it's trust in product or service. If your product is shitty, or if you can't create belief that your product can deliver on whatever it is that you promised, people won't have the trust in that it can help them, and they won't buy. So have a good product and really focus with your marketing messaging on actually conveying that you can provide the value to the people that you're trying to sell to. So the other part of trust is trusting you. Like, who the hell are you? Like, people only buy from who they trust. And this is why you can see that a brand new business can have a little bit of difficulty with selling their products or services, right? But here's the thing. It doesn't really matter whether you're brand new to the scene or if you're a long time player, as long as you can create that trust. And one of the easiest ways to do this is to put a face to the business, like really have something come out there that can connect with people, and so that people can trust that. And when you have that, it is a lot more easier to make a sale versus when you don't have that in your business. So the last part to this is to help the customer believe in themselves. Look, people can have belief in the product, they can have belief in you, trust, whatever, but if they don't believe, if they don't have any trust in that, whatever that you're offering, your product, service, whatever, it's really gonna help them specifically, they won't buy from you. This is why you see the people, they often have very difficulties with like buying the next diet program or buying product X, service Y, simply because they don't believe that it will work for them. And if they don't have that, it's not going to work. So you really have to help people by establishing this belief in themselves that they can actually make it work. People really need to have this thought of, yes, I can do this, or yes, this can actually work for me as well. Once they have that, once you have all of these 3 trust components combined, a sale can be made. So next up is a product, right? And with this one, I really want to hammer down on the one thing that I see a lot of people trip up a lot of time when it comes to this, and is talking about features instead of selling benefits. And a good example of this is the whole sell me a pen thing, right?
Sell me this pen.
It's a amazing pen. For professionals.
Sell me this pen.
It's a nice pen. You can use the pen to write down thoughts from your life so you can remember.
Sell me this pen.
Well, this pen works.
And you've seen this thing done probably a dozen of times, right? And I'll give you an example of how to do this properly in a sec, but people strongly focus on making this pen this seemingly amazing thing, right? To somehow sway the customer into buying. And the problem with all of that is that people don't care about that. People only care about one thing only, and that is what are they getting out of it. Look, you can ask people money for pretty much anything, and people will be very, very quick to judge it, and thoughts going through their heads like, what value am I getting out of it? What am I actually getting out of it? How is this helping me? So this is why you need to be focused on selling benefits rather than talking about features. And the benefits are the value of the product or service that you're offering. And what you really, really need to understand about all of that is that your product or service is not important. It is simply the vehicle to get people to their end result as fast as possible. That's really what you need to focus on. And that leads me to the next thing, which is creating the perceived value. By focusing on getting people to their desired states, by focusing on getting people to their end results as fast as possible, and the more benefits that you can add, actually, the better it is, you help to create a perceived value. Look, anyone can add any price tag on anything, but the value of it is simply in people's heads. In other words, nothing has actual value. Other than things like food or shelter, nothing has actual value, only perceived value. So the more benefits that you can add, the more compelling that you can make it be, the higher the value of your offer is being perceived, and the more people will pay for it. This is essentially increasing people's sense of gain. So number 6 is urgency, and this one really revolves around the fact that people need a reason to act, and more importantly, people need a reason to act right now. You have to keep in mind that people buy things to either gain something or to be rid of a pain. And in a sales situation, it's usually a combination of both. As a matter of fact, what people always deal with whenever they're presented with any offer is the sense of gain versus the sense of pain of not having that offer. So for example, you might see someone who's interested into buying something like an iPhone 10, right? And they might be like, okay, this is a cool iPhone, I really would like this. However, they might not really feel a pain of not having that iPhone. And whenever someone is in a situation like that, they simply will not buy. So what you need to do is not only increase the person's sense of gain, but at the same time, you also want to increase the pain of not having your offer. Because if someone can get all these amazing benefits, all of this value, but at the same time feel a lot of pain of not making that buying decision right now, not really entering that sale, that's the moment when a sale is most likely to happen. So essentially what you want to do is you want to move people to the point where they start feeling like, damn, if I don't get this right now, I'm going to be completely messed up, or shit, if I miss out on this, I'm really, my life's going to be over. Aliens are going to take over my planet. You really want to take people to that state of mind with your offer. That's really what's going to create the urgency into moving people to buy right now. And that brings me to my final point, which is making people good offers. Look, with sales, it isn't simply about the product. It isn't simply about what value are you providing. It is the entire package. People look at the entire package. So this is why you want to focus on making people good offers. When you combine all of these things together, it's going to put people in a state of absolute certainty, aka you've made the sale. That's how you do this. Okay, so let's try all of that with the example of selling a pen, like I said earlier. So for this example, I want you to imagine that we're selling to business owners who are struggling to increase sales for their business, and not only want more business, obviously, but also want to build relationships with other business owners. So we kind of have a sense of where their values are, right? And let's also imagine for this example that we already have some branding and trust going on. So we already have this a little bit taken away. So we could go like, look, this is a pen that's used by business owners like Richard Branson to increase sales for their business. And in fact, this pen allows you to be a member of a business club that consists of only 300 people in the entire world, consisting of members like Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and Elon Musk actively in it. And how that helps you is that the members discuss business opportunities frequently with each other, and members see their sales go up with at least 60% as a direct result of being a member of the club. And as the pen is a sign of your exclusive membership, every month you'll also be able to attend private members only events, which are focused on driving more business and building relationships, and they're hosted at exclusive locations around the world. Imagine doing business with some of the most influential business owners in the entire world. All of that is only possible with this pen. And what's going to happen in this person's head right now is like, damn, I really need to have that pen. And suddenly, just like that, you've created a very strong desire and a high perceived value for your offer. So from this point, I could go like, look, this pen comes in extremely limited supply and usually gets sold out immediately, and I only have one left right now. And the normal price for this pen is $3,000. However, today we have a lifetime opportunity where the pen only costs $1,000. And on top of all of the benefits that I mentioned before, what you'll also be getting as a bonus, which is only today, you'll be having lifetime access to having weekly collaborations with entrepreneurs like Jeff Bezos and Richard Branson, which helps to bring constant exposure to your business to help pull in customers a lot more easy. That's usually at a $15,000 value. However, today it is completely free only today with this exclusive offer. And look, you can pass that up, which is totally fine, but I'm going to offer this to your competitors and they will be enjoying the benefits instead of you. And if you want to come back later at any point in time, it's totally fine. However, it will be at the normal price and without the bonus. What do you think is going to happen at this point? The person is going to buy. And that is how you go out there and boost your sales, by combining all of the things that we mentioned throughout this video and really focusing on creating offers with jam-packed value. Again, selling comes down to understanding the psychological elements that drive sales. And when you tap into it, you're gonna pull it off. So that's what I got for you in this video. If you like this video, hit that like button. Also be sure to subscribe to the channel because I release cool videos like this every single day. And this has been Paddy, and I'll see you in the next video.